Destiny Payton, one of the most talked about stars on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, may have just hit the point of no return. Rumors are spreading fast that OWN is making major cuts behind the scenes, and Destiny's name is right in the middle of the storm. Could this be the end of her journey on the show, or is she about to fight back in a way that no one saw coming? For years, Destiny has been a lightning rod for drama, her relationships, her business moves, and her on-screen clashes, keeping fans glued to the screen. But now, whispers of producers cleaning house have fans speculating whether she's next to go. If the rumors are true, this shakeup could change not just her role, but the entire future of Love and Marriage, Huntsville as we know it. Is Destiny Payton being forced out of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, or did she finally decide she's had enough of the drama? The buzz online is nonstop. Fans are debating, castmates are dropping cryptic hints, and the whispers coming from behind the scenes suggest something big is about to go down. One thing's for sure, this shakeup could completely rewrite the future of the show. And trust me, this is where the real story begins. Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the scandals, the secrets, and the explosive truths that keep Love and Marriage, Huntsville fans on the edge of their seats. And today's story? It might just be the juiciest yet. Destiny Payton, once one of the central figures of the series, is now at the center of major speculation. Is she gone for good? Did OWN make the call to quietly push her out? Or is there more to this story than anyone realizes? From being Melody Holt's close ally to one of the most polarizing names on the show, Destiny has delivered fiery confrontations, personal revelations, and non-stop controversy, and now, her fate could shake the franchise to its core. But lately, the quiet around her has been more powerful than words. Her sparse appearances, lack of advertising, and even remarks from other cast members that imply something significant is going on behind the scenes have all been noted by fans. This is when things start to get interesting. According to insiders, OWN may be reorganizing the program to concentrate on the most compelling plots, cleaning house, and maybe firing some of its cast members. As Destiny's name has often come up in these discussions, fans are left wondering if this marks the end of her reality TV career or if a startling return is imminent. We're breaking down everything you need to know in this video. There are hints that could indicate whether Destiny is actually leaving the program, ranging from her convoluted journey of Love and Marriage in Huntsville to the politics that go on behind the scenes at OWN to what viewers are saying online. Some of the information we found will shock you, and I promise you will be astounded by the story's conclusion. So have a seat, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's explore the real story of Destiny Payton and Huntsville's prospects for marriage and affection. Destiny Payton was originally introduced by Huntsville when Love and Marriage were involved. Viewers were interested in learning more about her when she first appeared. Destiny's narrative seemed relatable at first. Fans praised her attractiveness and confidence as a bride who balanced her personal and professional goals. In fact, many believed she would be the new vitality the program needed when she was introduced as Melody Holt's friend. However, as reality television has repeatedly demonstrated, initial impressions are not necessarily permanent. Destiny's plot and fans' perceptions of her changed as the seasons progressed. Her marriage to LeBarack Williams was one of her most prominent early tales. Even while Destiny didn't always divulge every private detail of their relationship, the fissures were evident as it developed on air. After her divorce, Destiny was adjusting to life as a single mother by the third season. This was meant to be her opportunity to engage with them more deeply and openly. After all, Lamb has always prospered from overcoming obstacles in real life, including marital dissolution, business difficulties, and personal development. However, many followers started to become frustrated rather than unite around Destiny. Why? Since they thought she was being reticent. Destiny was frequently accused of being evasive, in contrast to Melody Hull or Martell Hull, who exposed every detail of their lives for the cameras. No matter how chaotic, she discussed difficulties but hardly ever went into specifics. Although viewers desired transparency, some believed they were only given cursory updates. Online, that disconnect became more noticeable. She has been accused by some admirers of becoming defensive at reunions. Others claim that, in contrast to the rest of the ensemble, she had a chilly vibe. Then there was the drama of friendship with Melody. Initially regarded as best friends, the two women's relationship gradually deteriorated on TV during her divorce. Destiny said she felt abandoned by Melody, Fans were split on that feud, even though Melody implied that Destiny wasn't being as devoted or encouraging as she ought to have been. According to others, Melody unjustly distanced herself from Destiny. Others claimed that by playing the victim, Destiny was manipulating and disparaging. Perception is crucial in reality TV. It gets more difficult to maintain your plot once supporters begin to doubt your sincerity. The conflict between Destiny and Stormy Steele was another pivotal moment. On social media, their furious arguments became some of the most talked about events, with many viewers labeling Destiny's actions as needless or violent. Fans welcomed Stormy as a new cast member right away. Destiny, on the other hand, appeared to be becoming more and more like the antagonist. This is where things start to get complicated. Destiny did have a devoted following that supported her in spite of the criticism. They said that she was portrayed negatively in the editing and that the true Destiny, the mother, the businesswoman, and the survivor of a difficult divorce, was not being accurately represented. Some even charged that OWN ignored her business life, like as her beauty supply store, in favor of an excessive amount of drama. Perception is still power though. Additionally, Destiny's appearances had significantly decreased by the time Season 5 arrived. Her lack of screen time was observed by fans. She had fewer confessions, and her plots didn't seem to fit into the overall plot. People began to wonder if she was being phased out in secret. The rumors really began to circulate at that point. Was Huntsville preventing Destiny Payton from finding love and marriage? Was she cleaning house and concentrating primarily on the most compelling characters and dramatic plot points? Or was she deciding to take a back seat due to the outpouring of vitriol on the internet? Although the truth is nuanced, one of the most remarkable storylines in the show's history is Destiny's transformation from newcomer to divisive character. And comprehending that voyage is essential to comprehending why her future on Lamb is currently in doubt. Here's the startling bit though. There are other cast members who have experienced this phase-out procedure besides Destiny. Love and Marriage, as well as reality shows, have been restructured by OWN in the past. A significant upheaval might soon strike Huntsville. Let's examine what has been going on behind the scenes and the reasons why fans believe Destiny was at the top of their list. We must zoom out and consider the whole picture in order to truly comprehend what is going on with Destiny Payton. Because there's more than one cast member involved, this might be a component of a far more extensive plan that OWN has been employing for years. Fundamentally, reality TV is a business. Each character, each plot, and each episode must contribute in some way. Decisions are based on ratings, and networks are always figuring out who contributes to the show and who doesn't. Oprah Winfrey's network is no different. With its reality franchises, OWN has established a reputation for taking risks throughout the years. You'll see a trend if you watch programs like Ready to Love, Put a Ring on It, or even previous initiatives like Yanla and Fix My Life. OWN doesn't hesitate to reorganize when its ratings begin to decline or its plots become stale. New characters are introduced, cast members subtly leave, and attention is diverted to the plot thread that is generating the most interest. It's even more important with Love and Marriage. Huntsville. In the realm of reality television, this program is OWN's crown jewel. In comparison to other network shows, it consistently garners high ratings, generates contentious discussions, and trends on social media. This indicates that OWN is particularly guarding it. The network is likely to intervene if there is even the slightest indication that a cast member is failing to engage viewers or provide engaging plots. This is where Destiny enters the picture. Fans have observed that Morris, Letitia, Kimmy, Martell, Maro, and Melody are still creating noise. Comparatively speaking, Destiny's plot has felt weaker, whether it is through romantic relationships, corporate endeavors, or disputes. OWN has made investments in captivating characters, and regrettably, Destiny has frequently come under fire for lacking the transparency necessary to maintain a compelling storyline. Consider it. Vulnerability and drama are the currency of the reality TV industry. Melody has opened up about her marital difficulties. Headlines have been dominated by Martell's controversies. Fans are constantly captivated by Stormy's feisty attitude. Even the ups and downs of Letitia and Maro keep viewers thinking. However, fans claim that Destiny leaves them with more questions than answers, and they are aware that fans will not put up with a plot that seems unfinished for very long. It's not exclusive to Destiny. People have previously been phased out by OWN. Do you recall how, in the middle of the season, candidates who failed to build significant relationships simply vanished from Ready to Love? or how couples who failed to provide compelling plots were reduced to the bare minimum in Put a Ring on It. The same formula applies. The network discreetly cuts stories that don't engage viewers and concentrates its resources on those that do. Additionally, there's the issue of branding. OWN markets itself as a network that combines empowerment with entertainment. In addition to gripping drama, people are drawn to stories of business success, resiliency, and redemption arcs. OWN must make a decision when a cast member doesn't match that mold, or, worse, when viewers start to lose interest. Would they put more effort on repackaging that cast member, or would they move on and focus on someone else? Additionally, fans think OWN may have already decided on its course based on Destiny's trajectory. There hasn't been a formal declaration, of course, but in reality TV, deeds speak louder than words. The decreased screen time, the lack of promotional effort, and the move toward younger cast members like Stormy all indicate to a quiet phase out. Here's the twist though. Permanent eradication isn't necessarily the goal of OWN's house cleaning method. Cast members are occasionally cut for a season and then brought back with a more compelling plot. Is Destiny one of those people? Or is her involvement with the series really coming to an end? This is when things become even more interesting. It's possible that fans had a greater influence on Destiny's potential demise than the company's officials, because networks are closely monitoring what viewers post online in the era of social media. Additionally, the response to Destiny has been among the most polarizing in the series' history. Let's investigate that. How much influence do fans' opinions actually have over Destiny's future? What are they saying about her? One of the most intriguing parts of Marriage and Love. The supporters are really devoted to Huntsville. Lamb has developed a fan base that actively participates online, analyzes every plot point, and isn't hesitant to express their true feelings about each cast member, in contrast to other reality shows where fans watch passively. Furthermore, the public's response to Destiny Payton has been extremely divisive. Let's begin with the criticism. Many fans sought additional information as soon as Destiny's divorce and transition into single parenting became the main focus of her plot. They wanted to witness the unvarnished, unadulterated hardships of her reconstruction process. But what they frequently saw was hazy and guarded. Although Destiny might talk about difficulties, she hardly ever revealed the truth like Melody or Martell did. Fans believed Destiny wasn't being genuine in front of the cameras because they contrasted her more restrained demeanor with the openness of other cast members. Criticism erupted on social media platforms. Fans would share episode snippets on Twitter with comments like, "Destiny is hiding something," or "Why is she even on the show if she won't share her life?" Destiny's name was frequently brought up in contentious discussions on Facebook fan groups and YouTube, with commenters labeling her unentertaining, defensive, or cold. Some fans publicly demanded her removal by the time reunion specials rolled around, claiming that her plot no longer enhanced the group dynamic. This is where things become fascinating though. Destiny received assistance. She also had a devoted following of supporters who vigorously spoke up for her. These advocates contended that the criticism was unjust, pointing out that different people deal with personal suffering in different ways. They reminded detractors that Destiny was managing her own company, raising her son alone, and going through a divorce. It wasn't that Destiny wasn't sharing her life that bothered them. It was that she wasn't being treated fairly by the editing. They felt that instead of showcasing her resiliency and development behind the scenes, she was opting to draw attention to her confrontations with Melody and Stormy. One of the most distinctive fandom dynamics in the program was brought about by this division. Some people petitioned OWN to give Destiny more screen time so that her entire narrative could be told, while others pushed for her removal. OWN found itself in the midst of a tug-of-war between defenders and critics. Additionally, fan opinion matters on reality. TV Nielsen ratings are no longer the only factor that networks consider. On social media sites like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, they are monitoring interaction, hot topics, and hashtags. Executives pay attention to cast members who are frequently trending negatively, and Destiny's name was nearly always associated with conflict. The appearance of Stormy Steele was the tipping point. Stormy's audacious demeanor, candor regarding her marriage, and commercial achievements were instantly accepted by her fan base. Destiny's repressed intensity was much more noticeable in contrast. Many claim that Stormy had effectively taken Destiny's place as the new voice of drama and openness in the internet conversation. There was more to it than what Destiny wasn't providing. It had to do with what another cast member was generously offering. In interviews, Destiny herself admitted to the criticism, stating that she felt unfairly depicted and misunderstood. She acknowledged that she occasionally felt the effects of the online criticism, but she remained steadfast in her resolve to avoid disclosing every single detail of her personal life in order to appease her followers. She believed that there were limits that must be adhered to. Here's the twist though. It's possible that OWN saw an opening while Destiny was receiving criticism. After all, fan controversy still equates to engagement. Destiny was still valuable to the show as long as she was being discussed. It became dangerous when the topic of conversation shifted from curiosity to exhaustion. Destiny wasn't the only target of fan criticism. Some were purposefully skipping her narratives entirely or fast-forwarding through her sections. And that's a warning sign for a network. Destiny's fate might have been decided here. It's difficult for the network to defend keeping you in the spotlight if a sizable section of the audience is tuning off during your segments. Additionally, Destiny became one of the most contentious cast members in Lamb history when combined with Stormy's ascent, Melody-like parallels, and the never-ending fan arguments. Fans weren't prepared for this though. OWN was quietly working behind the scenes while all of this was going on online. Furthermore, those actions imply that Destiny was dealing with more than just fan backlash. It's possible that she was dealing with much more extensive network reorganization than anyone had anticipated. Because Owen and Destiny were doing more than simply cleaning the house. They were changing marriage and love, Huntsville in ways that might affect all of the actors. And what transpired next may help to explain Destiny's abrupt absence from the public eye. Huntsville, it's crucial to keep in mind that this is a business, not just a reality show. While discussing marriage and love, the Oprah Winfrey Network is constantly planning how to maintain high ratings, interesting plots, and interested viewers. Additionally, difficult choices frequently need to be made behind closed doors when a show has several seasons under its belt. When Destiny Payton's name started trending on the internet, what was going on behind the scenes? First, OWN was going through a pivotal moment in its history. On the network, Lamb had become one of the most watched unscripted shows. In addition to the drama, viewers were drawn in by the cast's marriages, friendships, and business endeavors, which distinguished them from other reality shows. Executives, however, began to recognize a recurring issue after so many seasons. The plots were getting stale. The audience had witnessed the breakdown of Melody and Martell's marriage. They had followed corporate rivalries and witnessed friendships fall apart. Insiders claimed that OWN started closely examining which cast members were still advancing the plot and which ones were slowing it down, raising the question, how do we keep this show fresh? At this point, Destiny's role was questioned. Producers apparently felt that her plot lacked the same long-term appeal as others, despite the fact that she had contributed dramatic moments, especially through her strained relationship with Stormy and her broken friendship with Melody. She was no longer in a well-known relationship, and her business endeavors, while significant to her personally, did not produce the kind of engaging television that the network desired. However, this is where the situation becomes even more fascinating. In addition, OWN was distributing its resources, funds, and attention across several shows as it expanded the Love and Marriage franchise, with spin-offs such as Love and Marriage. DC budgets had to be reduced as a result, and the worth of each cast member was reassessed. A cast member became a danger if they weren't producing enough to warrant their salary. And a lot of fans thought Destiny was among the names that were being subtly brought up during those budget talks. The popularity of Stormy Steele and her husband Courtney was probably another aspect that influenced this choice. In a manner that fate frequently opposed, Stormy contributed vitality, audacity, and a readiness to divulge details of her private life. Stormy immediately gained popularity among fans due to her direct thoughts and successful Canvas beauty company. And OWN officials took note. Stormy's popularity wasn't the only factor. She provided the network with what they were looking for in a reality star. Lots of drama, relatability, and openness. In contrast, Destiny's hesitation to divulge too much about her private life grew increasingly obvious. Destiny frequently came across as withdrawn, whereas Stormy was candid about her marital dynamics and career difficulties. Additionally, being cautious is like to signing your own exit notice in the reality TV industry.